Now, I know you as a phenomenal second position and third position player, very high level in both of those. But when people usually bring up your name, the context is usually first position, and very specifically your vibrato.
How about that? Huh?
So yeah. So of course we got to talk about that. When we were just at the teach-in today, Joe Flisco's teach-in at Spa. We're at Spa this year in Texas. And I'm doing my teach-in thing, and we're talking about tremolo and then vibrato, and then he's up on that. What about the high end? And me and one of the other guys just kind of smile and says, "Well, you got to check out Mitch Kashmar because you are known as the you know this, but Mitch is known as the guy who's got the most beautiful 7-blow vibrato, and it's something that when we're doing that type of vibrato that happens from the throat opening and closing, this sympathetic movement of the tongue and stuff. It tends to be the land of like the sixth hold down. And when players go up to the high end, it's more of like a chewing thing to get that vibrato sound. But that's not happening with you on that 7. We just need to hear you play it.
Sure.
So I'm on an A harp. I don't think you can choose whatever one you wish. Sure. I've got a whole set here.
See, what I try to do is the same thing. It's all the same. I try to relax my throat and bring everything from below. And I'm tongue blocking all that stuff. Yeah. The only times I'm not tongue blocking is when it's totally obvious. When you'd hear like a, or a something like that. But otherwise, it's all tongue block. And see, part of why I've gotten this thing that everybody seems to like is a little bit of attitude.
Yeah.
A little bit of attitude. It's like I didn't ask permission from any other harp players. I didn't try to find that vibrato existing already in another to give myself permission to do it. I just kind of started trying to sing through it the way it was for me. And it's just been a wonderful surprise to have everybody hear it. It's just marvelous. But my tongue's on the harp, and I'm just trying to stay as open as possible. So it's coming a little bit from here, and I think the back of my tongue is moving, even though it's not leaving the harp.
Yeah. But it's not moving in a way where you're going yeah. It's sympathetic movement.
It's just right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just trying to stay open and really, just as you would in good harp playing or good singing. Nice relaxed throat and support from down here. So. Right?
Yeah.
So my tongue's still on it. And I'm just trying to not flat it, And it doesn't really work there. It just seems to work on the root,
Oh, that's
So again, it's just something I didn't try to find pre-confirmed anywhere,
Well, when I say that, it's just I've worked with thousands of students. It's just I've met no one who can do that. I don't know any pro players who can do it except you. So you're like this little phenomenon of beautiful 7-blow vibrato.
Yeah.
And I wanted a piece of that.
And that's basically that same kind of vibrato. And I'm starting to use them all at different times now. But it's the one I'm basically going for on all of it. It's not much different from what I'm doing on draw notes, I'm just trying to come from down here. And sometimes I like to choke too. When you're choking and tongue blocking, it's got a nice sound. But I'm still trying to, sustain it.
Yeah. And for our students, choking, we know that as bending today, but all the old guys would call it.
Oh, is that what they call it now? Bending?
You are an old guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, bending. Is that what they call it?
Choking, yeah.
Yeah, what you fellers call it. About that.
Yeah, what's interesting is you use a lot more of your diaphragm than most players do, because a lot of it happens, from the vocal. That's what actuates the tongue, and I'm not moving the diaphragm there. Gary Smith, when he does it, it's all up here, so it's it seems like it's a coupling of both the
You bet.
diaphragm,
You
the
bet.
throat, the tongue sympathetically moving, and the
All
end
of it.
result's great.
All of the above, yeah.
To go a little bit into more of the vibrato land too, I mean, some players will make a point to not use vibrato in some songs. Because most of the older guys, in the 1950s, Little Walter he used a tremolo. Walters used a tremolo, George Smith used a tremolo. Big Walter Horton definitely had some vibrato going on, depending on what he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of like a stylistic thing. These guys, it was a tremolo, And I remember early on when I first learned how to be able to create the vibrato.
When you say tremolo, what?
No change in pitch.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember when I came into my studies of Paul Butterfield, and he's, it's the real, the,
Yeah.
and then of
Yeah.
course I was there for a while, and I made a conscious decision over time to slow it down. I think it was probably Gary Smith. Was it Gary Smith? I don't know. It was a combination listening to Gary, and you were definitely a part of that. Of like, I want to slow that down a little bit. I don't want to be just, smacking the listener in the face with that. There's times for that, of course.
Right.
But to have that all the time, that's slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just talking out loud. Of
You
what
bet.
I appreciate about your vibrato. It's just such a relaxed sound, even though you might be playing something that's musically intense.
Mm-hmm.
But first position too, when you're up there working all those degrees of the bend, you and Kim, to a certain degree, do that the best. I mean, you really try to work that whole range. Just for my own giggles, can you?
All between the cracks.
Yeah, all the cracks.
Yeah.
Because I remember as a player for a long time, I could only play at the bottom. Couldn't play the middle. It was the wrong control of how to do the bend at that point in my playing. And so I just had this thought, okay, the 10 just pops to the bottom, there's nothing in the middle, Then as my technique grew and I learned what needed to happen with my mouth up front, I was able to hit those slides and stuff, but usually just would slide down or slide up. And here comes Mitch playing, and he's playing like 5 degrees of a bend on the 10th hole, So can you do us a favor?
You know what? That's
Yeah, yeah.
probably, as I think, probably some of that comes from Albert King, too, I would say.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
In what way? What is that?
Because he would do all those micro bend things. He would bring something up and then and bring it down. And then through Stevie Ray Vaughan, of course, the way he handled the slow blues was just Albert King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would guess that might be where that might have came from. With me.
Uh-huh. Do us a favor.
So again, you just try to stay open and let any influence in. So yeah,
Play for a while.
so yeah, it's there's like 4 or 5 notes in between the black and the white note there, or 4 or 5 non-notes. And then I'm trying to bring in the draw notes too, like.
As stepping stones.
But at first I was telling myself, man, you better do real notes in there, and then I thought, oh, well, just feather it around a little bit.
Can you solo a little bit for us in the first minute? That's great. All right, that's worth the price of admission right there.
Now, am I getting better sound by doing this? Now, are the blow notes on the top?
And blow notes are on the top.
So if
yes.
I block the bottom, I'm going to get more projection, because that's what I've been kind of doing lately, experimenting with that.
There's.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you opened up the back, it was a little bit louder, but
Oh, okay. All right.
there's so many holes. We know that, especially when playing amplified, for example, that the greatest leakage on the harmonica is just on the face of the harmonica on the right-hand side.
You know what? No, I didn't. I didn't until at Mississippi at the Hill Country Harmonica thing this year. Phil Wiggins demonstrated that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he turned so the crowd could see, and he played and took his thumb off,
Uh-huh.
and it was vocalizing.
Yeah, it was
wah,
like
wah. So I did not
Yeah.
know that. I did, but I do now. Yeah.
It's there's so many leakages all around the instrument that I doubt that this or that has much.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it might mean something to us, and it's tonal color. It's kind of like when Sonny Boy would, Sonny 2, Rice
Right.
would be playing, he'd be doing this. And
He's just flirting. That's all he's doing. He's just trying to charm the front table.